Coming up in court today on Eye for an Eye.
You got to have money, whatever you do.
Okay,
we had enough to pay you.
We had enough to pay you. With these type of people here, they sudden into distress.
In the court system, justice is not always just. That's why they bring their disputes here. Real people, real problems, real revenge.
They'll carry the chainsaw and push him over the rail.
You can't be doing this. You can't do this.
Justice is eye for an eye.
I love this courtroom. I'm Cato Kalin, and today on Eye for an Eye, we have the case of a woman who's getting a lot of mileage out of a bad mechanic. Now, the plaintiff claims she took her car to the shop, but the mechanic took her to the cleaners. The defendant says she's just trying to jumpstart her bank account, and her breakdown was diagnosed properly.
That low-down, dirty mechanic, he ripped me off of my money, and he know he did by not fixing my car right. I hope today, Judge, seek justice in my favor.
I'm sick and tired of her trying to get over on me. I just don't understand what she got me going through.
This is the case of the Shady Mechanic, whose damages are under warranted. Only Extreme Akim can decide. Let's watch!
All rise!
Barbara Matthews, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you're bringing this case against Richard Morris. Okay, tell me, Ms. Matthews, a little bit about the case you're bringing against Mr. Morris.
I brought my car into Mr. Morris because I was having car trouble. And when I brought my car to Mr. Morris, I explained to him on what the car was doing. And Mr. Morris then said that we can take a look at the car. He popped the hood of the car, and he looked down toward the belts, and he said, well, I think it's the timing problem on it. And I said, no, it's not the timing problem. He said, yes, it is. So then he told me to take a moment out because he was going to get back with me on what the car might be, doing.
Right.
And so then I turned to Mr. Morris and I said, well, could you put my car on the rack? He told me, he said, well, you have a mechanical problem, not electrical problem. He told me it was a tune-up that needed to be done on my car.
All right. So what's the complaint you got against him?
He misdiagnosed my car wrong. It was the fuel pump.
It was a fuel pump?
Fuel pump.
Okay, she said you misdiagnosed her car, that it was a fuel pump, and now she's got damage. How much damages are you claiming in this case?
$450.
That was the damage from the fuel pump. Who's behind you?
My husband, Jeffrey Matthews.
Okay, stand up, please. What's your name?
Jeffrey Matthews.
Okay, why don't you come on in the cage with her? You heard what the lady said. What do you got to say about it?
Well, Your Honor, the thing of it is, what Ms. Matthews is saying is almost completely wrong because then I didn't misdiagnose her car wrong. The thing of it is that the basic thing wrong with her car is that she ran the car without the proper amount of oil in it, and this caused problems with the motor.
Was that prior to you getting the car or after she left your shop? That she ran it without the proper amount of oil?
That was when she brought the car to my shop. She had already been running the car without the proper amount of oil in it.
No, sir.
You tell me what happened then.
Yeah, Your Honor, I was with my wife when she took the car in, and she told him 3 or 4 times to put it on the machine to see what the problem was. And he told her he had 15 years experience and he know what the problem was. Yeah,
okay.
right.
And what did he diagnose the problem as?
He said the problem was that she needed a tune-up. And we knew that wasn't right because 2 weeks before we brought the car to him, we went and got the tune-up. We got the oil change and transmission.
Okay, and what happened after he fixed the car? What happened to the car?
Well, after he fixed the car, my wife drove the car, and she was on her way home. Before she got on the freeway, the car locked down on her. The lights came on. She come calling me, say, baby, there's something wrong with the car. She had to call them back for them to come tow the car back to the shop.
Okay. They say you were supposed to fix the car, left your shop. This lady broke down on the freeway. And what's your excuse for this? I mean, if you had her car and you gave it to her and then it breaks down, I mean, obviously you must have been at fault in this thing.
No, it was something else, Your Honor.
From the time she left your shop until she broke down, there was something else? What could have been?
The thing of it is, she ran the car without the proper amount of oil in it.
Well, you let her leave your shop without the oil?
No,
I mean,
sir.
she says you broke down after you left the shop?
After I left the shop.
On the freeway. How much time elapsed from the time you left the shop till the time you broke down?
I say it was about a good 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes.
7 minutes it took her to break down.
What happened?
How long you been in business for?
I've been in business 15 years.
15 years?
Right.
And I've been, I'm a reputable mechanic.
Shady Mechanic, yeah.
7 minutes and the car's broke down and you think you did a good job?
I don't know what happened to the car, Your Honor, but
Misdiagnosed.
after I looked at the car the second time, then I found out that the oil pan was slightly bent, and the car, therefore the car lost enough
None of that was the
oil.
problem. And if it was slightly bent, it was in your care, sir.
The car lost enough oil for.
Well, let me ask you something, Mr. Morris. Why'd you let the car leave with a bent oil pan and no oil in it? I mean, this lady, when you go to pick up your car, you don't could go say, oh, I'm picking up my car. I better go check my oil to make sure I got oil in there. I would just had it in the shop. I expect them to fix it and
Your
check
Honor,
the oil.
I don't know at what point the oil pan became bent, but the only thing I know
It only took 7 minutes. What do you think happened in 7 minutes?
It was after it left my shop.
But that's 7 minutes after it left your shop. It's not like she could have done anything in 7 minutes.
Coming up next.
They didn't even have enough money to even put the car in the machine. You got to have money, whatever you do.
Okay,
we had enough to pay you.
We had enough to pay
They
you.
still owe you money?
Dealing with these type of people here, they suddenly into distress.
Okay.
They suddenly into
Ma'am, if
distress.
everybody that got a bad car fixed went in the hospital and tried to claim that was from the mechanic, we'd all be in trouble.
You're watching Eye for an Eye.
Before she got on the freeway, the car locked down on her, the lights came on.
She had already been running the car without the proper amount of oil in it.
No, sir.
What do you think happened in 7 minutes?
It was after it left my shop.
But that's 7 minutes after it left your shop. It's not like she could have done anything in 7 minutes.
I think what she's trying to do is she's trying to get some extra money for herself.
No, sir.
No,
sir.
buddy, we're not trying to get
Well,
extra
you
money.
better get some help here. Stand up, ma'am. What's your name?
Shirley Morris.
Come on in the cage. Tell me, maybe are you related to him? Y'all got the same
Yes.
last name. Are you his
Yes.
wife?
Yes.
You better start helping your husband out here. He's not doing too good over there. What you know about this?
Well, Miss Morris came into the shop. She brought her car into the shop. He diagnosed it. He told her what the problem was, that she needed an oil pan, and that she had to have oil to put in the car. If she didn't, the car would break down.
No.
But she said she didn't have any money to do all this. She said her husband was already upset. Her husband was already sick. She came in with a big story.
Okay, she's saying that they told you
That's not true.
that you needed oil, but you refused to get oil.
That's not true.
Were you with her at the time?
Yes, sir, I was with
You were with her?
And my son.
she didn't.
Would you have
and
ever driven a
also-
car off without oil?
No, sir.
So we got the oil change 2 weeks before we brought the car in. So
Right.
I know that's a lie.
Well, did they tell you that you needed oil and it was a bent oil pan?
No, they
didn't tell
did
us
not. They didn't
anything.
tell us nothing about no oil. No.
I the one told Mr. Mars that my car, I asked you to put my car up on the machine, to let the machine tell me what the diagnosis was on my car. You kept insisting, saying, no, you don't have an electrical problem, you have a mechanical problem.
Jared, they didn't even have enough money to even put the car in the machine. You got to have money, whatever you do.
Okay,
we had enough to pay you.
We had enough
You
to
saying
pay
they
you.
still owe you money?
We had enough to
We don't owe
pay
you anything.
You want $450 for the payment of your car.
And here's the pictures of my car.
Okay, let me see the pictures of the car. So what are you saying your total damages are? $450?
No, the total damages, Your Honor, with the paperwork, total damages is $2,500.
$2,500. What else we got?
We spent $1,100 on. We had to
On the
spend
motor.
$1,100 on new
On the
motor.
She said she had to get a new engine after that. Do you believe that?
Your Honor, the damage done to this car was caused by this lady, Miss Matthew. This damage wasn't done by me.
Let me ask you something. How long after the car broke down did you get your new engine? When did you get
I got my new engine, I say maybe about a month or two later.
a month afterwards? So you drove the car for a month.
Well, in between time, the car was still cutting off and everything. I had to take my car to Mr. Mars again.
You took it back to this man
Yeah, I
after
took
the
it
car
back to-
broke
yeah, I
down
took it
after
back to Mr. Mars, because Mr. Mars
7 minutes?
Yeah, I took my car back to Mr. Mars. I took it back 3 or 4 times to Mr. Mars to try to get him to fix my car properly right.
And
Your
what did you
Honor,
do
that
when
oughta
she
let
brought it
you
back?
That ought to let you know right then that you don't keep carrying your car to somebody that you don't have confidence in.
Yeah, but I didn't keep coming back bringing my $450 dinner.
So did you pay him any more money after that?
No, I didn't pay him any more money. I got fed up with Mr. Mars and took my car to another mechanic.
Okay. How do you link the new engine to him? I can understand the $450, but I'm not getting the correlation between the new engine and him.
Well, the engine that we had in there, Your Honor, it was perfect. It was running perfectly, everything. When we took it to him, that's when she started having those problems with the engine. So after we got the car back from him, when we took it to Mr. Verdell, then the car wasn't running when we took it to him. So he told us what was wrong, and so we let him fix the problem.
Okay, we got $1,100 for new engine, $450 that you gave them. That's only $1,550. Where's the rest of the money?
Towing, $75, receipts up there.
Okay, what else?
$75 in towing. There's $500 in storage fees.
Storage fees? What do you mean storage fees?
We had to store the car, Your Honor, when the car wasn't running after he messed it up.
And what's the hospital bills for?
Because dealing with these type of people here, they submit to distress. They submit to distress.
If everybody that got a bad car fixed went in the hospital and tried to claim that was from the mechanic, we'd all be in trouble now. I mean, how are you going to link that hospital stay to a mechanic that might have done a bad job on your car?
Because taking my car to this man, for him to fix my car properly, and he diagnosed my car wrong, have to keep bringing it to him, and the car is cutting off. I don't live right around the corner from these people.
All right, well, I'll be back in a second with my decision. Thank you.
Thanks. Well, you have a question over here, don't you? Stand up.
My question is, I understand the frustration with mechanics and getting cars repaired and how frustrating that can be, but if you don't have the money to pay for everything at the time it needs to be done, why store the car? Why incur additional expenses in storing an automobile? Why not bring it home or leave it on the street with the keys in it?
Because where I live at, they don't allow you to bring those cars there if it's not running, because they're towed anyway. They don't allow you to do that. Where I live at.
You had to replace the motor, right? So that means that you were losing that oil before you ever went into his place, which was making the car spit and sputter. Didn't it smell? And couldn't you tell that from the smell and the problem?
No, it wasn't smelling before we took it into him, sir. If you was listening, he said that happened after he left his shop. He didn't say before it went to his
Within
shop.
7 minutes. Come on now.
I've had a few mechanics that myself were not honest to me because they knew I didn't know anything about cars. But one person is very, very honest is, of course, Judge Extreme Akim. And we're going to find out what he has to say right now.
Coming up next.
It's really hard to recover for emotional distress. I mean, that's more of something that is a personal injury instead of what we got here.
You're watching Eye for an Eye.
Total damages is $2,500.
$2,500. What else we got? We
spent $1,100 on. We had to spend $1,100 on new motor.
He told her what the problem was, that she needed an oil pan.
Okay, Ms. Matthews, I've gone over all the evidence and I've reviewed the testimony. I think that you're entitled to some money, but I don't think you're entitled to the complete $2,500. I don't think that you presented enough evidence about the engine. It was a month later. It was hard for me to correlate the fact that the work he did caused the actual engine and the storage and the hospital bills. When you're suing for your property damage, it's really hard to recover for emotional distress. I mean, that's more of something that is a personal injury instead of what we got here is damage. But I am going to award you the $450 that you gave him. And I want him to feel what it's like to drive in a car that you can't drive. I mean, I think you probably were emotionally distraught over this thing, and I think you probably went through a lot over this. And people get frustrated over their car. They want their car. They don't have time in their busy schedule to be having to mess with the mechanic. So in this case, in addition to the $450, I'm going to allow you. One of my favorite shows is a show called Pimp My Ride. So I'm gonna give you some extra money, and you're gonna be able to get some paint brushes, some decals, some spray paint, and you're gonna be able to do to his car whatever you want, and he's gonna have to drive it around so that he could feel the pain that you went through. Now that's justice. Thank you.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. See, the man, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
We've all felt like we're under the wheel of a mechanic, but this time Barbara gets to paint a different picture, and she gets to do it to his car. So step aside, Earl Scheib, because she's going to make his ride look cheaper than 9 to 9, 9 to 5.
I think the judge decision was very fair because Mr. Morris, he's no good mechanic, messed up my car. So I think that he needs to be taught a lesson today.
I don't know what she'll do with the car. I hope she won't damage it too bad because I need it. That's one of my work cars.
Destroying Mr. Norris' car is better than money because he destroyed my car. Now it's my time to destroy his car.
I think she's a hateful woman. I don't know what she might do to my car.
After today, I guarantee you, Mr. Morris, you never want to drive that car again.
Big Sugar Ray, look at Barbara there with the sledgehammer. Let's see that. You are ready to do some smashing.
Oh, yes.
You're going to destroy this car, aren't you?
I'm going to destroy it today.
How do you feel about this? It's your car. I saw that inside you had pictures of your grandkids. A lot of memories, huh?
Yes, I love this car. My grandkids love this car. This is our baby.
Just don't swing at me, Big Sugar Ray.
I won't.
Are you ready to do some smashing?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
Good luck. Wow. Oh my. That mirror. Give me a mirror.
Oh, look at her.
That's your car. That's your car.
Judge.
She's not even taking a break. Give me a mirror, Barbara. Yo! She just lost the hammer on that. Yo!
She's a crazy woman, all right.
Oh, here comes the paint, I bet.
Oh.
Here comes the paint. She's gonna... Richard, this might be your nasty note.
Yeah.
How much is that car worth? I thought there's a price. Richard, not looking good for you. Jerk.
Something wrong with it.
Holy cow.
Just came from the mill with hot water.
Well, she's crazy.
Yep. Just came from the mill water.
Barbara, you're not Picasso. Wow. Wow. Barbara, 30 seconds. Hold on, okay, time's up. Stop, Barbara, stop. Oh my God, you had a mission. So how do you feel now?
I feel real good.
You know, I was cracking up. I saw you with the shoe polish. I thought you were going to put a price in the car as a joke, but no, you put crook, clown, jerk.
Because he deserved it.
Wow. Today, Justice was Barbara's greatest hits.
Greatest hit.
Yeah, you like that one, huh?
Yeah.
Until next time, I'm Cato Kalin for Eye for an Eye.
She pulled out the sledgehammer and broke the windows. I was horrified. I thought it would be something left for the car to salvage.
When I picked up that big sledgehammer, I feel like I was powerful and I feel like I can just take on anything.
she's a hateful woman, but at least this is the end of it.
No, this isn't the end of it. She gonna get hers. She definitely gonna get hers.